And we are live. I hope Zangetsu is okay with that because I didn't even think to wait.
I was just about to ask. Right before you said, and we're live, I was going to say, Kintork, does he know that we're live? Or...
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Oh,
of course,
boy.
that happens. You guys just come over on my mic, and hey, they can deal with that.
Hello.
And Nug is currently doing something, so he'll be here in a moment.
I have to ask what that box says. That ends in TCHES.
Oh yeah, I see that too.
Probably not what I think it says, but I'm curious.
Bitches.
Zangetsu, what does it say? You're leaving us into suspense.
Read the things that are in my room.
Tell us.
No.
All right, so.
That is so rude. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight thanks to you. All I'm going to think about is that box. I'm going to Google it and search images up for hours.
Matches. Okay. Not what I thought it was going to say, but that's good.
I casually have something like 700 matches in my room. Don't worry about why.
Oh my gosh. You need to take some of those out. You don't need that many matches, man.
I beg to differ.
All I want?
Only you can prevent house fires.
Right?
Prevent?
No, you're hoping for one. You have good house insurance for fires.
Actually, until about 5 months ago, I didn't have house insurance at all.
Well, you have it now, though.
I do have it now.
It will look suspicious if the fire happens too soon, so wait a bit.
Just planning fraud on live Twitch. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete this so that they don't have any proof.
No one clip that.
All right, I'm closing. I'm ending the stream again. I mean, for the first time.
Yeah, you didn't start it before. Or anything.
That didn't exist.
There you go, Tori.
That never happened.
Oh,
man, and I have to draw my character art, but I have such a busy week next week at work. Because full-time person is taking vacation.
Publish.
I have to cover for a bunch of his stuff.
It's always fun covering for other coworkers, isn't it?
I know, right?
I mean, I get paid more, so I guess, but...
Yeah.
But, like, we just had a full-time person quit, and now we're having another part-time person quit.
Thanks.
And, I mean, we're not that big of a company in the first place. Like, there's, like, 14 of us. So... Though, from what I've heard about the other part-timer that's quitting, not too big of a tragedy. Hope she doesn't see this.
Well, as long as you don't give her the account, the streaming account, I'm sure she won't.
I don't know her, so yeah, it's not gonna happen. Well, at least I wasn't underwear. That's all I can say.
Wow, Stream Elements just told us that we're now live. Thank you, Stream Elements.
Very prompt.
enjoy Zangetsu now in shaky cam.
That's right. That's right.
But you have your luscious locks out instead of in a ponytail.
I do.
I
I
just
decided to let my hair be free when I was out in the world today, and you know,
Nice. I like it.
feeling cute. So
you do you, Fabio.
Yeah, right? Very Fabio-esque.
I just got a nice little gift. Dungeon Master's book to non-player characters.
Oh boy,
Nice.
can we expect some stuff from that book?
Maybe not tonight, but definitely 500 plus unique bartenders, brawlers, mages, merchants, royals, rogues, sages, sailors, warriors, weirdos, and more for 5th edition RPG adventure.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic.
I want to meet some of the weirdos.
Yeah, me too.
tell me more of these sailors.
Sailors, huh?
I'm still stuck on the weirdos. I wanna see a weirdo.
Yeah. Hey Lex. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey,
We'll be going into the game soonish. We're just doing all the
Couple of minutes.
yeah,
wrong one.
all the alerts and stuff.
I haven't gotten any new stuff for my new character.
Gotten anything? What do you mean?
I mean, like, usually I get dice, like a new notebook and
Oh, I
stuff.
see what you mean.
I haven't got anything for them yet.
How you doing, Lex?
Maybe changing things up will.
Yeah, maybe I won't die this time. We'll see. I'm not gonna get them anything new.
What if all of your normal rituals is what makes them die?
You'd think that, yeah. So hopefully we're on the right track. I haven't bought them new dice. I haven't bought a new notebook. I haven't bought a new pen. I haven't bought a dice tray to match the character. We're all good. Nothing bad is gonna happen to them ever. They're going to fulfill their dreams and goals in life. And they
Can't wait to
actually
hear
have
what they are
goals.
so that they can be tragically cut short.
And they actually have goals instead of just aimlessly flitting around the world. So there we go.
Okay, who are you and what have you done with Tori?
I know, right? I made a fun character. I'm sad I wasn't feeling my actual backup character, just because it would have fit in so perfectly, because they were a news reporter from my backstory, and you guys are like about to talk to the
Oh
news.
man, that would have been great.
I know, right? I was like, just as Torque was like, gotta get this out to the public, but I wasn't feeling it, so I changed it up. But
It's okay. You can always let this one die off too.
no, I gotta ride it out. I have to have a character that lasts like at least 20 sessions. That's my whole goal in life is just to last 20 sessions.
That's
And
ambitious.
that is not very many.
That's ambitious.
I know. 10 is probably a more reasonable goal. But 20 it is.
I don't know. It's possible.
I'm not gonna tell you the name because I don't want to ruin it completely. But this is so far my favorite I've found so far.
Tallest of Haas.
I love that.
The tallest of Haas is what the quote says.
I love him.
Here, by
I'm
the way.
gonna turn off my mic so I can practice my voice.
And here I was hoping we would get that live vocal troubleshooting.
It gives away some of my character if you hear it first.
Damn. And here I
So-
want all about your Lucky Charms.
I gotta go silent.
Welcome back, Brian.
Hello.
While we're waiting for the go time in another 4 minutes, if you're just joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that follow button. I don't know if you're actually saying anything, Tori, but
Oh, she's
She's
pregnant.
I am. I'm practicing my voice.
oh, right.
I gotta go silent for it.
Thanks for the follow, Lex. What is that emote? Lex's pet.
With Tori testing out the voice, I'm going to create a mute character named Pantomime now.
Read my lips. That's the game. What am I saying?
I only know phrases, so...
All right. Ah. Are we all feeling the game today?
Yeah.
We shall see.
We can see.
The question is the game feeling us?
I'm sorry. Hi. Yes, Space Jam DVD. Space Jam DVD. Space Jam
no.
DVD. You can't get away from it, Brian.
Fucking kill everything in my vicinity, which is you.
Hey, I'm not in your vicinity right now.
You are within 1,600 square feet of me, so that's my immediate vicinity. Yes.
Hi, Azza. Is Space Jam DVD feeling the Space Jam DVD? I love how I just started a whole thing in the yesterday with that. Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah. Everybody ready?
Yeah, that's bringing up the calendar, but I'm good to go.
All right. Let me just. Then we can DM Zoom. Here we go.
All right. So, you guys had, after a bit of an unfortunate series of events of losing one of your comrades and then Kale losing his sister to a number of mercenaries that came to track her down and intended on using Kale and the town of Zilspar to their as their leverage against Shauna. She decided to go with them, giving the name Rayla Osiris as the only clue to what exactly is going on with her. You guys decided to take the night. Kale and Shioran had a bit of a moment with each other as they were trying to. Shioran was trying to build Kale's spirit back, as it seemed like something was close to breaking in both of them, and they found a tender moment together and were able to, at least for the time being, kind of alleviate some of that sorrow. You guys then gathered at the house and discussed what to do going forward. You guys decided you were going to possibly deliver some information to Sharn to get the information out about what happened down south, and a number of other discussions were happening about how to figure out more things about the draconic prophecy. You guys were talking about finding dragons or the like, and Marek came up with a sort of a solution suggesting that you all go see his patron, the person that he owes his life to and he has been working for up to this point, and is the reason why he found all of you in the first place. You guys decided you were going to head to Sharn the next day after gathering some materials around town. And from there, head to the Demon Wastes, where Marek said his patron resides. You guys gathered some materials in the woods the next morning and then decided to take a kind of a lunch break out near the water. You guys headed down that way, but when you got there, you were met by a strange individual, a woman with long black hair and a white dress, and very young looking, early 20s, late teens from the looks of her age, but she definitely portrayed a much older demeanor to herself. Seemed with much knowledge and just this aura of power and arcane. You guys all slightly attempted to dissuade her approach, but she seemed to have plenty powerful abilities on her side and was able to dispel the flame wall. Had a unique influence over Torque and was at least partially open to why she was there, is that she was one of the daughters and that of the mother who had brought you all back, or at least the majority of you, from the dead, and that they still have plans for all of you, and that she was there to only assist in moving you forward on your quests. You questioned her, and she gave some answers, but obviously gave more questions as well. But she provided things that you all needed, special chalks that Marek needed, the materials that Shior needed as well for her spells, as a way of conveniencing you all to move you forward without wasting any more time than needed. The help was received begrudgingly, but received nonetheless, as she didn't seem hostile at the moment, but obviously had her own machinations. She then wished you all fair travels and went on her way. You guys then decided to head back to the house, gather your things, and go from there. And that's where we pick up as you guys are getting back to Zilspar from the ocean. The day is still...
Well,
Oh,
the day is done.
the day is apparently done.
Apologies, my Discord decided to go...
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, the day is still in getting towards its zenith. I think is what you said. It was like 11 something, didn't you?
Right now, by my count, we're at about 2:15 in the afternoon.
Okay, so a little after. Yeah, you guys get back to Zilspar. The place is bustling. Everything seems to be in the norm. Is there anything you guys wanted to do specifically before you headed out? As Marek now has the materials he needs to cast the teleportation circle spell.
Well, I was going to write the letters and do the stuff, but I don't think I have time to do it if it's going to take 10 minutes. How long does...
I mean, you guys aren't necessarily on a timetable. This is all up to you guys. She wants you to move forward, but that's just more her machinations than anything. It's more up to you guys. So if you guys want to take the time to write the letters, it's up to you. If not, that's also up to you.
All right. Yeah, that's one thing Shioran wants to do. She wants to write 2 sets of letters, with one to Zamas? It's been a while since I've had to say his name. What's his name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Zamas, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and one to her mother.
Uh-huh.
And both of them pretty much talk about the same thing. She's already sent the letters to her parents for what happened recently and stuff like that about how she's doing more training. But this one will basically tell them what exactly happened recently and also about the fact that they're part of a prophecy now and not sure where this is going to take her. And stuff like that, you know. I'll probably write a better version of it later, but...
All right.
And then
So,
if...
so you're writing one to Zamash, one to your mother.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
If we're going to take the night, I'm going to try and do some more editing on that, the notes that Torque gave us.
Okay. What exactly are you wanting to leave out?
Just mainly the personal stuff.
All right.
Yeah, so basically everything that happened, I guess, and the problems that we may be facing soon, whatever Torque wrote in that, but
They are the way that Torque wrote them they're in detailed note format, essentially. They're not really in a storytelling or informative type of script, essentially. So if you wanted to word it differently yourself, or you just wanted to leave it as just kind of the, not necessarily bullet point note, but it's just kind of like notes as he's written them.
Notes as he's written them. Double check the common as well to make sure it's all up and up.
Mm-hmm. Make a...
Oh boy.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Not bad.
Okay.
Go. What were you gonna say?
No, go on.
That's a total of 15.
15. Okay. And then make a wisdom check for me.
That one's a lot less. 6.
6. Okay. So you are able to organize the notes, get them set up and everything, but as you're going through the night, you're a little distracted by not only reading through the notes and kind of unfortunately re-experiencing some of the traumas that happened, but it's just a little bit hard to focus on it. You do get through it, but you do have to spend most of the night doing it if you're wanting to complete it by the next day and get things moving, or else you'll have to move into the next day and take more time tomorrow. It's up to you how you want to do that. You feel about a decent at this point, like everyone else is asleep, you're the only one up, and you still got a while to go. Are you wanting to leave it for the night or push through?
Probably be a good idea to leave it for the night. Assuming everyone else wanted to take the night as well.
Didn't hear any objections from anybody. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do that night in town in Zilspar?
Yeah, Torque would be kind of messing around with kind of butchering that rabbit that he caught earlier that morning and cleaning the bones. Anyone that kind of paid attention to him would see him kind of like stringing them together and making something of a necklace, maybe.
Would you be doing this in front of the house or in the back of the house?
He would be doing this probably in the yard. I believe he saw the fairly nice garden that Kale had set up there, so he'd probably be over there.
Okay. All right. So you, you kind of set yourself up there, start working on the rabbit, cleaning it out. Every once in a while, someone will pass by and just kind of like notice you in the side. And a couple of them kind of they realize a giant lizard man is kind of back there cleaning some sort of creature and bones, but they quickly recognize you after you guys have been here for a little while. But other than that, you're undisturbed.
Okay, cool. Beyond that, he's not doing much. Anyone that kind of checks on him, you would just kind of hear him kind of muttering to himself in Draconic.
Kale, is there anything you wanted to do?
Not particularly. Oh yes, actually I did. Gortha, I wanted to go tell her that I'm going to be leaving for some time.
Okay. Yeah, you head
Tell her about your new girlfriend.
You head to the Red Cliff Inn and Red Cliff Overlook, and it's quite busy at this point, about dinner time or so. And do you want to just hang out until things get busy, or do you want to pull her aside, or get less busy, or do you want to pull her aside?
Yeah, get less busy. That's fine.
All right.
I'll get a drink.
Yeah, you hang out. People obviously know you very well at this point and talk with you, ask you how you're doing. They start asking you questions. Like at first, you can tell people are a little hesitant, but then the first person kind of comes up and like, "So what was that with your sister?" And like other people start to kind of like question you a little bit. And you can definitely tell that a lot of people in town, the word has spread, and a lot of people are very curious about what that all was about.
I would maintain I would basically say it's like, hey, thanks for the concern, but I would rather not talk about it.
And they respect it. But you do, as you are sitting there, you do hear a few people still whispering, like, I saw there was a bunch of mercenaries. A couple of them were magic users. I saw it. They just vanished. They left their horses for some reason. It's really weird.
Well, those are my horses now, that's right.
Now here's the question. You taking them in the teleportation circle with you?
Can they fit?
No,
Got a really big teleportation circle.
but I'm probably going to rent out some stable space for them.
There you go. Oh, easily enough. You talk to the stable hand there, and he's just like, "Where'd you get the horses?" And
Let's just say it's prisoner exchange.
they're all very well taken care of, but they definitely seem to they seem well trained, and they go right into the stalls. They don't give a lot of trouble, but they all are dressed in simple like saddle and bags, but there are brands on the saddles as well that give that symbol, that same flame with a lightning strike in it, that you saw on the crest of the mercenaries.
I'm going to get out a little bit of like a piece of charcoal
Mhm.
and like a scrap of like a napkin or something. I'm going to etch it.
Okay.
Just going to
Yeah, it's easy
save
enough.
it.
Kale might
That
as well.
does remind me that Torque would want to go with him if he makes it known that he's heading towards the tall dogs.
He'd probably be doing that on his way to the tavern. I don't know necessarily he would say that to anyone. That's up to Kale, I guess.
I think Kale would be like, oh shit, I gotta tell Gortha about the animals.
Kale might as well start a new business renting out horses.
Don't tell Kale that.
But eventually the patronage does die down closer into the evening time, and you obviously kind of made yourself known to Gortha prior, and eventually she comes out. She's got her rag kind of whipped over her shoulder, and she comes and kind of slumps against the counter, reaches down, grabs a mug, places it, starts filling it up with a drink, and kind of looks at you quizzically if you'd like one.
Sure.
She'll kind of slide over the one she was filling, grabs her own, fills up her mug, and then kind of slides down the counter, so she's kind of facing across from you, kind of leaning forward. That was a busy one. And people don't like to keep to their own business, do they, around here?
Yeah, it's kind of a trend everywhere.
Are you doing okay, dear?
I'm doing all right, all things considered. But you know, I actually wanted to talk to you about a few things.
Okay.
In light of some recent events, I'm probably gonna have to dip out of town for a bit.
I see. And you see a visible kind of disheartening pass over hers. Where are you going?
I gotta do some pretty stupid stuff, I guess. But I got all the animals. I really appreciate it if someone can just make sure they're not, destroying the place.
I could definitely take a look at myself, if not someone else.
Yeah, and I could pay. It's no problem for me. I just want them to be taken care of. I really appreciate it, by the way.
She's kind of reaches over the counter and kind of places her hand on yours and says, Kale, can I ask why this is so important? I mean, if you're going after your sister, I understand that, but those people didn't leave much clue on who they were, from the sounds of it. You sure this is necessary? You've already gone through so much. Why put yourself through more? You have a home here.
I only have one Shauna. And I need to get better. I need to get stronger.
Why?
Because I can... I need to try to help. There's a lot of people there who need something. I can't explain it, but they need protection, and they need happiness, and they need security, and they need a lot of things. And it would not sit right with me if I didn't see this thing through, which, a lot of people might get hurt, and if I can prevent that, I need to try. And my friends, I've seen enough of them die. I need to... I need to do this.
You see her kind of look down and kind of, her face gets kind of hidden by some loose strands of hair that have fallen out of the bun that she's pulled her hair up in, and she just kind of very lightly says, almost imperceptibly, but you catch it just barely, why does it have to be you? And she looks up at you with, you can definitely tell her eyes have gone kind of red and some tears have formed. And she's still holding the top of your hand.
That's the hand I was dealt. But every hand could be a winning hand if you play it right.
She looks at you for a moment, and then straightens up, turns around, takes your mug, and slams it down on the counter, faces away from you for just a few moments. So you kind of wipe her face, and then turns around. mask of jovialness back on her face. Well, whenever you get back, you're going to owe me a lot of dishes and a lot of meals that you're going to make me cook while you are gone.
Noted. As Kale kind of shifts in his seat a little bit. I could never escape that.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Get out of here then. Just kind of waves you off. Kind of leans against the other side of the bar, crosses her arms, and just kind of looking at you. Not angry, or if she is sad, she's hiding it well. She's just kind of watching you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Bye. That's how I leave.
Bye.
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 Ah.
Yeah, they should put your romantic skills in books, Kale.
Bye.
Who
See you
said
later.
that Kale was talking to her romantically?
I didn't say you were, but you can definitely tell she has feelings for you. But yeah, so you head back to the. By this time, it's dark out, and head back to the house. Unless there's something else you wanted to do.
Not particularly.
All right. You go to sleep, sure, and you get partway through your work through the night, but then end up going to sleep in the morning. Yes.
Well, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I will mention the name that I was given, the daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You mentioned that in the letters.
In the letters, yeah.
Okay. Are you addressing them in any specific way, or are you just intending on making this sort of like a journal you're just going to pass on to anyone who will listen?
The Torque's notes or the letters?
Torque's notes.
I guess just a journal.
Okay.
Zamas will probably know the best person to send that to.
Okay. You get set up the next morning. You wake up kind of early just to get yourself started. People kind of mill around, unless there's anything specific anyone wanted to do. Marek is getting himself ready for teleporting when people are all done. Make a... you're able to kind of focus a little bit better in the morning, and you're able to get through the rest of the letters. By the time it hits about just before noon, so it's a good 4 hours or so of working at it after you wake up. And so you slide away from the counter, pile of papers in front of you, both the notes and then your own versions of them. Kind of skim through, make sure everything is how you want them to sound. But then, yeah, you rub your red, hurt eyes. You've just been staring intently at this, and stretch a little bit as you've been hunched over the desk for the last few while, hands cramped from all the writing. But you accomplished what you wanted to. What would you like to do?
Well, with the new day, I have modified my spell slots slightly a bit, so I would have, or not spell slots, but my spell list. What did I just do? Sorry. But I would have, what's it called? Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
And if I can find Torque, I would like to try and see if that would affect him.
Yeah, Torque hasn't been, wandering around or anything. He's been pretty much staying near the garden.
All right. I'm trying to get that swapped out since it's a new day, but I'm forgetting how this system works.
Go to
There
your
we go.
spells, manage spells.
Yeah, there it is. got it. All right. So I'd find Torque and hey Torque.
Said just jerks up.
I would like to try casting a spell on you. It cures blindness and deafness. Maybe it would cure your lack of taste. I can't guarantee, but would you mind?
Oh, all right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cast that on him.
All right. So Torque sticks out his lizard tongue at you. And you can see that it is still like heavily scarred from the burn marks. You, is it a touch spell? I don't remember.
It is a touch spell.
Okay, so you touch his tongue. To anyone looking, this is an odd situation.
Just full on opening his mouth gator style, and she just starts touching his tongue.
So you gotta reach forward and touch it, and the healing magic kind of flows through. And Torque, at first, it's like a weird kind of like tingle, and then it's like a sharp pain in your tongue. And it's like really uncomfortable, but it's gone in a few moments. And kind of rub your tongue along the top of your
The
teeth.
real question is, does he snap his jaws closed with the pain?
Ow! Oh, there goes my hand.
I mean,
Fortunately, just stick your whole hand in mouth. You just gotta touch tongue. But you kind of rub your tongue across the top of your teeth, and there's more sensation. Still not quite the same, but there's more sensation. You have to taste something to see if it worked properly.
so yeah, you'll see him kind of like flicking his tongue and like looking.
Did it? You think it worked?
He kind of like looks around for anything to like try and like taste, and just grabs a small handful of dirt and.
And where before even the most flavorful food was completely deadened to your senses, you now taste dully earthy tones, dirt, grime, stuff like that. It's you can taste. It is slightly dulled at the moment. There might be more that you can do with more work on it, but you can taste slightly.
Not what it was, but okay.
So it's working.
Dear, come here.
Dear, come here.
That can be interpreted in many different ways, Torque.
Dear? Oh,
Oh,
wait.
God.
I think I just got what you. Oh. Oh no. I think the deer might have excreted here.
Oh boy.
Took me a moment to realize what he was saying. Oh. Well, I can go. I can cast a spell a few more times.
Later.
All right.
Marek kind of comes around the corner. Am I disturbing something?
No. I'm just helping Torque get his taste back.
All right. Did you finish your letters?
Yeah. I'll have someone take it to Zamas. He'll know what to do with pretty much all of it.
All right. Who do you hand them to, or give them to?
The what's his name, the leader of the village. He said
Mayor Zog?
Mayor Zog. Yeah, he said he could get someone to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you easily find Zog out on his daily patrol around Zilspar, greeting people and assisting where he can, listening to woes and complaints, and is pleasantly happy to see you,
Mhm.
Sure. And ah, my dear, how are you doing this morning?
Hello, Mayor Zog.
Did you finish those letters you talked about?
Yes, I did. They're done right here. Here's the notes that Torque wanted to send off.
Oh, of course. I can get someone to deliver these to
Mhm.
Sean. You said the man you're looking for was one of your kind and by the name of Samas, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
I can give you a. I'm gonna give him a like the address to where he can find them.
Okay.
You'll know what to do with them afterwards.
Understood. And is that all?
Yes, thank you very much. We're going to be heading out a little bit later today.
Ah. Well, please be safe and obviously know that you're always welcome here in Silspar.
Mhm.
Gives you his bright not manicure, but bright, well taken care of smile.
Alright.
And he gives you kind of a bow and then takes your letters, kind of puts them to his chest, and goes on his way.
All right. So, I guess that's pretty much all I have to do. I would like to grab some different fruits and stuff as well before we go. Given that I've heard the Demon Waste is probably not the best place to gather some.
All right. You head to the general store and you're able to pick up however much you need. It depends on how much you want to gather. They don't have a large plethora, but they do have a few baskets of apples and oranges and a few other assortment of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. Mainly fruits I'd like to grab for a specific thing that I want to make a little bit later. But I also want to wait until Torque has better taste, so that he doesn't feel left out. So,
yeah,
like, enough to make some juices for all of us.
Okay. Probably will run you about 3 silver.
Okay.
You get that, gather that, come back to the house, and Marek's out waiting with Torque, and I'm guessing Kale, unless Kale wanted to do anything that day.
Nope.
And you are bringing Ainsley with you at the moment.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, just want to make sure that was still going on. So yeah, the 6 of you, including the dog, are all standing in front of the house, and Marek kind of looks at everyone and says, "Is everyone ready to go?"
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we proceed, and he reaches into his pack and he pulls out these lengths of black cloth, and he says, "I need all of you to put these over your eyes."
Okay.
I put one over my eyes, but before I do that, I also put one around Ainsley's.
Oh.
It's kind of like looking around, very confused. He goes to kind of try to bat it off a little bit, but you tell him to stop, and he leaves it alone for now. Torque, do you put yours on?
Oh.
Torque will kind of look at it, kind of cock his head.
Merrick said, "I don't mean to seem distrustful, but my master is not something many people or anyone should know about. And I have no way of communicating to him that I am bringing you all with me. So until he gives permission, I cannot permit any of you to see him."
Understood.
Torque will cock his head the other way, but he'll go ahead and pick up the cloth and attempt to get it around his head.
Work it a little bit, but it's effectively over your eyes. I'm guessing you put yours on, Shorn.
Yeah.
Marek gets everybody in the circle, and then you hear him kind of drawing around all of you with these kind of chalks. And it takes him about a minute or so to finish it. And he's like, okay, this is my first time doing this. I apologize if it's a little bit rough. And he finishes, and you guys hear this kind of you almost, and specifically Torque, you kind of feel this energy from below you as there is a sudden rush of feeling. You feel your chest getting pulled forward involuntarily, and you feel like you're almost falling forward. You try to catch yourself, and then the feeling's gone. And the only difference you notice is that it is much hotter here. There is a denseness to the air that makes it almost kind of hard to breathe, and the heat is a good 20-40 degrees temperature difference. You immediately start sweating. It's a completely different climate than where you guys are, from even down to the south of Corvair. And you hear this low rumble off in the distance. And you hear Marek shuffle, and he says, "Master, I'm sorry to disturb you unannounced, but this is important." And you hear a step. Well, Marek, I was not expecting you to return so quickly. Are these the others you spoke about? Yes, Master. This is Shiorn. This is Kalen. And this is Torkana. I met him along my way back to find my allies. Kind of looks around. You hear kind of a silence, and then, I don't see retribution with you. There's a bit of a silence. Marek doesn't say anything.
Dead.
That is unfortunate. Now, Marek, are you sure all of these members of here, are you sure they are trustworthy? Well, you did lead me to a few of them. And Torkana is honest, to say the least. You hear a step getting closer to all of you, and you can feel almost like a residual heat following whatever this presence is. And there's a dull light that you can see past your blindfolds, that's just kind of barely perceptible past the cloth. And you can see this shadow kind of passing over your vision as this person, whoever they are, kind of passes back and forth, kind of almost seeming like they're maybe examining all of you. And then you hear the person say, kind of more in front of you again, I need all of you to swear to me that you will not speak of anything that you see here or hear here. I need a solemn vow from all of you. And know this before you make said vow. This is not just some verbal contract. What you say in response to this is binding.
And there.
I understand. I vow.
Yep.
All right.
Notes.
Notes.
Torque will reach into his pouch and kind of like pull out stacks of his papers.
You feel them get gently taken from you. steps through.
No, it's okay.
As long as you keep them to yourself and allow no others to see them outside of this group. And the ones that you can trust without any question.
Torkel nod and swear.
Hand them back and kind of places them against your hand so you know they're there. All right. You may all may remove your blindfolds. And as you do, the kind of blink, it's a dull red glow that encompasses this room that you're in, and it is a magnificent room. It is a large ringed balcony type area with the walls all around the balcony covered in innumerable amount of books. And there's multi levels that stack up, and you can see that the room itself just goes up and up and up until there's kind of like a red haze that blocks you from seeing any further up, and there are just books upon books upon books. The railing in front of you is about 10 feet from you, and it leads into what looks to be empty space, and there's a large red glow coming from below wherever that is, and you can now see that's where the rumbling is coming from. And standing in front of you is a very tall man, probably close to 6'5", 6'8", flawless, pale skin, almost looks like marble. He has long, brass-colored hair that streams down to below his lower waist, and he is dressed in white and reds, very fine clothing, and he has a beautiful sword sitting on his hip on his left side, and his eyes quite literally burn bright red, far brighter than Marek's, and they seem to be piercing into all of you as this person looks at you. Welcome to my home. I am Vermilion.
Gale nods.
Yeah. Shiorn nods too. I had something I was thinking of, and then it just left my brain.
Kale, I'm Kaelin.
Is it a pleasure to finally meet you, Kaelin? As well as you, Shiorn.
You too.
Marek has told me very wonderful things about all of you. You all have a resilience that is not common among folks that try to do good, especially not in this land. But welcome, this is my home. He kind of steps back, and as you kind of move forward a little bit, you can see over the railing, you kind of inch over at the pit that is past this railing, goes down probably a good 200, 300 feet. And at the bottom is this red-orange glow of a lava pit that is just roiling and rumbling down below. I apologize if the heat here is oppressive. It is to Marek and my liking.
Do Tritons sweat?
Was that me or was that? Did Scott just like cut out for anybody else, or is that just me?
He was not on my end.
I think he was fine.
Oh, okay.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now.
Towards Tritons, that's up to you. We're going to say that's up to you.
I guess the question is, do amphibians sweat? Let's Google it.
You know, let's just world building on the spot.
I think they don't necessarily sweat, but they do excrete a mucus substance, so...
Are you mucusing?
You're sticky.
I might be actually.
I
This
think
is a-
she's kind of turning progressively more red.
Purple.
Your hair is definitely getting frizzier in this atmosphere.
Very frizzy.
That's a good thing I have it braided up.
Um,
Well, that didn't answer my question.
But it's like
Googling.
all these little hairs. You can't do
Yeah.
anything about those.
Mm.
I try my best, man. But look at them.
Yeah. Sharon doesn't look like she's in her environment at all.
Now, I can only imagine that Marek would only bring you here under dire circumstances. And Marek kind of stands up from his kind of more reverent positions. Yes, Master, I brought them here. We need to know more about the Draconic Prophecy. We need to know more about our place in it. We have been pawns of it up to this point. By you, by others. We need to know more. You see Vermilion kind of glance at Marek and then glances at all of you, his shining, bright fire eyes just passing over you. The look is just piercing through your soul.
Did those frog creatures actually give a name for the whatever was being freed by us breaking the tablet?
Mhm.
No.
Nope.
We recently dealt with some frog people who tricked us into doing what they seem to think is their version of the prophecy.
The Slods.
Hmm.
Yes. They are conniving creatures not of this world. They are followers of the Dalkir, the abominations beyond the gate, in the realm of chaos.
The dog
They-
here. That's what you said.
Dalkir, yep.
Ancient enemy.
Very ancient. And not your only enemy, unfortunately. He kind of walks over, and you see him raise his hand and kind of lifts it up in this kind of gentle gesture. And as he does, you hear this like tinking sound as something is rising up from the pit of the lava. And you see at first these weird shining objects, and as they turn, you see that they're like shards of mirrors. They kind of corkscrew around, move, and then gently place themselves in a roughly kind of like ovoid shape. All the pieces kind of just gently fitting together. You can still see kind of the cracks between, and it just seems to be reflecting the room, reflecting you and you all in the room. You all face many threats in this journey through the prophecy. As Marek has no doubt explained to you, the prophecy is not set in stone. It is a prediction. It is a guide to how events can unfold, not how they will. It is all based on interpretation and a lot of the time intention as well. There are passages of the prophecy that make little sense until, unfortunately, they come to pass. Others can be deciphered and unlocked, and can be used to garner certain endings, or be avoided entirely. And the prophecy then changes. It is never set in one way. And this prophecy is not something that is just written in books. People have deciphered parts of it and have written it down in texts and scrawled on ancient walls in cities lost to time. But the prophecy, which truly is the world all around you, the signs in the wind, in the stars. And he kind of waves his hand, and the mirror kind of shifts in its visual, and now you're looking up at the night sky with the kyber crystals that surround the planet shining in the night sky with the suns gleaming out, with the stars gleaming out. The shifting of the rings, the movement of the stars, the way the land moves. Your people are attuned to this, Shioran. It is why they send you and your family out to accomplish this landstride. It is not just to prove your worth or grow as a leader. It is also to find the signs, determine them, as you, your people, help guard against the more horrendous things that can happen, as do I.
So,
But
our whole goal was based off the prophecy?
not entirely. It is a part of it.
Hmm.
And as many allies as you all have in this, you have far more enemies. Creatures and beings of immortal nature that have been reading the signs for millennia, and they have been planning for just as long. Things get immensely complicated, and no one person can know the entirety of the prophecy because of its ever-changing nature. I can only see parts of it. The parts that I saw, unfortunately, have changed and altered due to events and machinations of other individuals. And he waves his hand again, and the mirror shifts to an image of Shioran, Kale, Marek, Air, and Violet, and sorry, forgetting your name. Lyslin, sorry. All standing on this large precipice, and you are all facing off against this massive, monstrous creature that looks almost centipedal in its kind of a mix between like a centipede and an odd centaur type of body, where it has a long, kind of stretched out lower body with multiple limbs that kind of carry it along the ground, and it stretches up, and it has an eyeless nature with a large mouth, and it has these large weapons floating around it, some of them literally sticking out of the creature, roaring in anger. Behind it is an army of these fiery looking cat-like creatures, all armored in black obsidian armor and rushing forward. And it's this horrendous scene of kind of an apocalyptic nature, and then it shifts. That was the future I saw occurring, and that all of you were the ones to stop it. Now things have shifted, and I am unaware of how things will continue. I can do what I can to find what signs I can, but I'm limited here to what I can accomplish, and I am unfortunately trapped here in this volcano. It is why I sent Marek out, to retrieve the lot of you, and to stop this horrendous future from happening. If this one or a worse one is to come to pass, I cannot say, unfortunately. This is a complicated matter, and I can understand if all of you feel a bit trapped, or that you don't have control over your own actions in one way or another, or that these things are happening to you. Kind of looks it over again, that same like piercing. Kaelin, you have suffered great loss, as have you, Shior. Things have not gone the way that you would like. Kind of steps forward. But it is not the end. Things are never determined. Not until it is already done. You must see it through. And And if you can find that resolve, I promise you, prophecy will shape itself around you. It may be a future you don't necessarily recognize until it comes, but it'll be yours. I have spent much of my time on this material plane studying what I could. And since the time has shifted with the death of a number of you, I have had to read new signs. I have not garnered much, but I do have a little. But before we get to that, is there any questions any of you have for me? I will answer what I can.
Where do you stand with this other person who's trying to use us for the prophecy? The daughters?
Well, the daughters are not the only ones trying to use you, but I stand against them. They are a chaotic lot. They are known... Let me pull my index here. Notes real quick. They are the daughters of Sora Kel.
Oh,
As he says that, Torque shrinks, just
Shioran's
hiding away from the words.
Shioran's making a full mental note of that. Soren Kel?
Sora Kel.
Okay.
Sora Kel is an immortal, much like myself. She's also known as the Queen of the Night, and a very dangerous foe. The daughters are three. There's Sora Terraza, the Gifted Oracle. There's Sora Katra, the Cunning Trickster. And Sora Mania, the Vicious Monster.
Mania?
These Mania, M-A-E-N-Y-A.
Okay.
Mania. Sora Terraza, Sora Katra, and Sora Mania. These three daughters, some know them as hags, rule Droam. And they have machinations of their own. But as you well know, they are not the only ones. The Dalkir are obviously moving on their side of the prophecy. And there are others as well. The Lords of Dust are also making their moves. These demons reside out in the world, disguised as humans, and they preside over lands as rulers, diplomats, kings, counselors.
Is that related to what happened in Sharn?
Sharn is another piece of the puzzle. What happened to the Irtanes at the wedding is a piece of the prophecy. Whether that was the Lords of Dust or not, I cannot say. And there will be others. Many that will try to manipulate not only the prophecy, but all of you, as you all have a place in it. I understand your need to want to know your place more, to be able to be proactive against these threats. To that, what little information I can give you about your enemies, I hope can help. Past that, the advice I can give is to head to somewhere that can give you more information. A place of learning and arcane. That if you can alight yourself to garner trust with the individuals there, should provide you the tools to study and get more information on what it is you're looking for. You might even find some clues about the prophecy that no one has found yet. I speak of the lands to the east and a place called Arconix.
Onyx.
It is a place in an Onder that is a place of great magical learning. There, at one of the main towers, there is an observatory that they use to track celestial bodies in the night sky. That is one of the better ways to determine the signs, if you can predict them. It is not an easy thing, and you will need more than just your mortal senses to track these. But the people there have studied these movements for many years, and they should be able to help you. Again, like I said, if you can garner their trust, it will not be easy.
Would Torque know about this place from his grandfather?
Yes, because your grandfather studied there.
Okay.
It is the highest place of learning, especially when it comes to arcane, in essentially all of Corvair.
Well, it sounds like a place I can learn other stuff too.
It is an important place, and movements in the prophecy very well may include Arconix. There have been shifts in the prophecy and progression in the prophecy, more so in the last few months than I've seen in many centuries. Things are moving forward quickly, and I think the time of waiting is soon to be over. And this land is going to be embroiled in chaos again, even worse than the last war, if things are left to their own devices. This is a lot, I understand, especially to put in the hands of individuals such as yourselves. It can seem daunting to put yourself up against immortals. But I can promise you that as much as the immortals will tout that they are all-knowing, all-seeing, and invulnerable, these things are the farthest thing from the truth. They have ways to keep themselves and preserve themselves, but they have the same flaws as any of us, as do I. None of us are infallible, and that is your greatest advantage. You are all aware of your own flaws, the things that drag you down, that keep you from being your best. You can learn from them. These creatures believe they have none, that they are flawless. That is where they will fail. That is their greatest weakness. It is the corruption of power. Kind of walks over to the side of the room, and he reaches over to a wall and kind of presses his hand against it. And as he presses his hand, you see these red, fiery lines kind of spread out in kind of these veined format across the wall. And the wall kind of splits itself open. And he reaches forward and grabs a box. And this looks like a large, heavy metal chest. And he's carrying it with one hand, seemingly with no effort. And walks over and kind of places it on a table. I did expect Marek to come back here with at least some of you at some point. And I have prepared some things for all of you. But before we get to that, as he puts his hand on the chest, any other questions? Any other inquiries?
Torque will slowly raise his hand.
Yes, my friend.
Do you know how to wake Dragon Eberron?
Kind of looks at you, his kind of eyes kind of get more intent on you. I personally do not. May I ask why?
He'll tap the emblem on his, necklace.
Dragon fragment. Kyber wants no Siberys Eberron. Wake. Return, dragon.
See him look to all of you. Are you aware of what your ally here speaks of?
Do I know anything about this?
Roll a history check.
Well, that's going to be pretty low. It's 3. That's a 6.
1, 2.
Torque knows things.
Sorry, what was yours, Kale?
That'd be a 16.
16. And what was yours, Sharon?
6.
6. Kind of escapes you. Kale, you know the fable of how the world came to be, and you're guessing maybe that's what he's talking about. You know the story of the progenitor dragons, Siberys, Eberron, and Kyber. In the dawn of time, these 3 cosmic beings created 13 planes of existence, each embodying a concept. Their final work was the material plane, where all ideas would become manifest, a realm that could know war and peace, life and death, order and chaos. But cruel Kyber sought ultimate dominion over this new reality. She struck Siberys without warning and tore him apart. Eberron wrestled with Kyber and bound the traitor in her coils, but could not defeat her. So Eberron became a living prison, a world that would forever contain Kyber's evil. Almost every culture in the world shares this story as a myth that explains the world. Shattered Siberys became the rings of golden dragon shards wrapped around the planet, said to be the source of magic. Eberron is the world, the source of all natural life, and Kyber is the Underdark, and the source of aberrations and fiends forever struggling against her bonds and yearning to destroy the world above. It's a basic story that is told to almost children on the surface.
So above game, I'm thinking, Shioran's not thinking this, but I noticed that there's 12 moons plus the material plane, and there's 13 planes.
Mm-hmm. And Vermilion kind of goes over that, essentially, and you see him kind of wave his hand, and the mirror sort of turns, and you see these fantastical images of these iridescent, massive creatures crashing into each other. The world is unrecognizable as this barren landscape of fire and rock, as the tumultuous beginnings of this world and the shattering of Cyprus and the golden arches that streak across the sky. He kind of goes over it and says, "You wish to wake Eberron. What gives you a notion that this is possible?"
Feel in spirit.
He walks up to you, and he kind of stretches out his hand slightly and then looks at you and says, "May I?"
He nods slowly.
Puts his hand on your chest, and you feel a rush of some sort of sensation pass over your body as he closes his eyes, and you feel his hand is almost burning to the touch, but there's no pain. You can just feel the temperature rise as this man's heat kind of washes over you. And you feel something sifting through your thoughts, through your memories. Not probing into anything personal, just more gathering information. And he comes back. You are unexpected. I feel you are unexpected to more than just me as well. I cannot say towards waking Eberron, but I feel you will have a role in shaping this world, more so than I thought possible. Fascinating. I apologize I'm not able to give more information on your goals. Is there anything else I can provide?
Torque will just shake his head.
All right.
Quick question. I just remembered something. What I was
Mm.
thinking of earlier. Who had the corrupted dragon shards?
Pretty sure Marek still has those.
Okay.
I believe Violet.
I
was
thought
the one
Violet had
carrying
them.
most
Oh,
of
yeah,
them,
that's
and
right.
They're
Yeah, that's
long
right.
gone.
So
Yeah, that's right.
they're gone then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We found some corrupted dragon shards a while back. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, Marek told me about those. And whoever is performing blasphemous changes on the dragon shards of this land, and they have nothing but ill intention, unfortunately. Towards what they were like, I'd have to visually be able to study them. But they seem to have a magical property that seemed to alter the personality of whoever they touched.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that is only one facet of their intended abilities. Dragon shards are powerful shards of magic, and they can be used in innumerable ways to supercharge and amplify magical rites and spells. And to anyone that has the ability to corrupt one, well, unfortunately, that is just another potential enemy to add to the list.
Mm.
Keep your eye out.
Also related to that, do you know of a person who changes voices? Who seems to have many different voices over... I'm sure Marek told you about this person.
Yes, he spoke of him, the alchemist. he, or they, I should say, is a new player in the game. Until Marek had mentioned anything to me, I had no inclination towards their goals or even if they existed. But now I am hearing rumors of other unfortunate places of experimentation showing up. This person, whatever they are, seems to be experimenting in ways that have never been seen before with magic. I unfortunately have no insight towards their goal, but it would be wise to watch your back against that one, specifically.
One would think that they would have studied somewhere.
You might be
Maybe we
able to
can find
garner.
out.
You might be able to garner more information in Draconics.
Maybe.
It is not the only place of magical learning, but it is the most renowned in the land.
Personally, I'd like to make that a goal to stop them in their experiments. They have hurt a lot of people.
And unfortunately, they will hurt more before this is over. Now, any other questions? Anything else?
That's all I can think of right now.
All right. Kaylin?
Nothing on my side. Just... yeah, I got nothing.
All right. Well, then let us get to your gifts. And he steps over to the table and kind of waves his hand in front of the chest, and you hear a series of locks unlocking on the chest. And then he just very gently opens it up. And that's where we're going to take our break for 15 minutes.
Boy.
Mimic! They're gonna kill us all again.
Oh boy. Yay.
So yeah, we will be back in about 15 minutes, and
Yep.
we will continue with you guys receiving gifts from an immortal creature.
Oh,
that
boy.
You don't quite understand.
I like him a lot better
Sweet.
than the daughters.
2 sessions in a row.
All right. See you guys in 15.
By the way, Shioran's using
Get up.
shape water on her water flask to just have the water running around her. Yeah,
Spritzing her.
spritzing and like cooling down and stuff like that. She is not handling heat well.
Torque's feeling comfortable.
All right, everyone. So if you've been watching us, go ahead and give us a follow if you enjoy it. We'll be back in about 15 minutes and, continue this.
And I'm sorry to anyone that has to watch me eat.
Nom, 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 nom. They do that all the time if they're watching my channel. Oh, my back hurts.
See you soon, chat.
Yeah.
See if I can adjust my chair a little bit.
Holy shit! They have a choose two. They have a choose two.
Choose two.
So I can get half a Reuben and half a club.
Interesting. Kinda sorry for hitting the mic like that. I am out of shape. Okay. Why are there only 4 people here? Did Torque actually log out?
Looks like it.
Alright, choose 2. What can we get from the 2? Half Spud. Kinda want that potato. Just a Spud. I like the way they name these things. Just a Spud, Spud Max, Veggie Spud. Welcome back.
Howdy.
Did you log out on purpose?
Yeah, I was checking in somewhere else.
Ah. Holy crap, the Spud Max has some interesting stuff on it. Bacon, Black Forest ham, smoked turkey, cheddar jack cheese, sour cream, black olives, butter. That's a interesting set of items.
It's gluten free.
Alright, I think I got what I want. I'll drink what we have in the house. So, fun fact, while the... Welcome back. While Scott was doing his recap, I was like frantically finishing up the notifications that I forgot for my for Facebook and Twitter, and also opening up my character sheet, because apparently I completely forgot all 3 of those before we started. I was ready to start 15, 20 minutes early, and
Yeah, I was
still
about
somehow,
to say.
still
Yeah,
somehow
you weren't
forgot
ready.
stuff. Story of my life.
You need a checklist reminder.
I actually need to look at the checklist for once.
I know, that's what I mean. You need a reminder that says checklist.
I would like it if my brain stops being so forgetful. I was never this forgetful when I was a kid.
It's a condition, and unfortunately, it's not curable. It's called 30s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just barely starting in it.
But I don't want to be 30. I'm gonna be 31 in like 2 weeks. Not even.
I turned 32 last week, so
I'm a baby, so.
I think I might be the oldest one here.
The problem is, Tori, you go through enough pain, you count as one of the 30s.
It's so annoying.
You might as well be in your 50s.
I know. I'm like 80-year-old woman right here.
You're an honorary old person.
Yeah, basically. I have all the diseases of one. You know, I've got degenerative disc disease. My spine's degenerating since I was 18.
Mm.
Wow.
So, you know, I probably won't make it to 80. My spine will be gone by then.
Oh no.
It is immensely depressing.
It's all good. I don't want to make it to 80.
yeah, like
Who does?
Yeah, that's
Too old.
It is kind of too old.
Mm.
And man, if I have to live in this amount of pain for like 50, 60 more years, no thanks. Look, I can barely do it now, man. And it's been, what, 10, 11 years?
Well, hopefully in that time that's allotted, there
Yeah.
might be some more progress to help you not have to live with that.
We can dream.
And they could just fix it.
We can dream.
Here's to hoping the advances in medical can beat the inevitable crash of our entire country.
Yeah, and also that it's not so expensive that I can't afford it.
Oh, I accidentally closed out that page. That's not what I wanted to do. So am I the oldest person here? I think at 34.
I don't know how old Zangetsu is.
I think Zangetsu's like in his late 20s. He seems like he's in his late 20s.
29. I will be 30
I was right.
in October.
I'm really bad at guessing people's ages.
I'll tell you what. About 12 hours into your
I had no
30th
idea
birthday, things
how
will
old
go
Zangetsu
very
was.
wrong.
Yep, 32 is
This
where it
is
starts
normal.
to where you just suddenly feel like you don't want to age anymore.
I felt like that since I was like
I mean,
17.
I put that in a bad way. Like you don't want to. It's where you feel your age hitting you. For some reason, as soon as you hit that 32, it's just like, boom.
I'm pretty sure it hit me a
32.
lot earlier than that.
Well, you said you were feeling different when you turned 32.
It was more like once you hit 30.
Mm.
For
We
me,
weren't
it was
supposed to live much past this. Our bodies weren't evolved to live past this.
Mm.
But anyways, looks like we're all back.
Yeah.
So,
Shall
you
I?
see Vermilion open up the chest, and there's a bit of a glow to it on the inside, and he kind of reaches in and gently pulls out something that doesn't look substantial. It has just it's this kind of like glowing presence that he holds in his hands, and he kind of steps out around the table and stands in front of you all and says, "Torkrana, please step forward." Tork steps forward, and he reaches into this glowing orb that's just kind of is resonating out this magical aura, kind of reaches in and pulls out a small section, and
He doesn't even stop to
he-
ponder it?
he looks at you, Tork, and says, "Can you provide the insignia, please?"
He'll go ahead and unloop the back of the necklace that he's got and just hold it forward to him.
And he presses his hand down on top of it, and there is a kind of a surge of, you guys can feel this like pressure kind of past you all as the magic kind of into the item. And you feel this kind of pressure in the item itself grow in power. The item now provides a +2 to attack and damage rolls, and when you critical hit with a unarmed strike, you can choose to add a d6 of fire, lightning, cold, or poison damage, your choice,
Ooh.
when you crit.
Very nice.
Which I have already changed in your character.
Excellent.
He then looks to Yoshiorn. "Please step forward."
Step forward.
And kind of looks you over a little bit and says, "Stand still." Reaches in and grabs another piece of the light, and as you see, as he grabs each piece, the light he holds in his other hand slowly kind of dims, pulls out, and he reaches forward and he just presses his hand against your breastplate, and you feel this kind of press through you, and you hear kind of like almost like the iron coral breastplate that you wear is starting to crack, and you kind of look down at it almost worried, but you see, instead of cracking, more new coral is growing quickly on different parts of it, and growing in very formed ways around certain parts of the armor itself, almost like it's adding layers of protection. Your iron coral breastplate is now a +2, which I have changed I have added a +2 breastplate to your inventory, so you can change it and name it how you'd like.
I think I have to refresh my page.
He then steps over to you, Kale, and asks you to step forward.
I do so.
Can you present to me your symbol that you have?
I pull out my holy symbol and hold it towards him.
He pulls the last bit of that magical aura. He reaches forward and kind of pushes his hand over it, and it kind of... And you feel this kind of lightness to you, almost kind of this surge of joy, almost to the point where you kind of chuckle a little bit as it kind of passes through you. And you look down at the holy symbol after he moves his hand away, and it is shimmering slightly. And it has this mote of light in the center of it, almost like there's a luminescence on the inside of the symbol itself. Your symbol is now a amulet of the devout +2,
The devout +2.
which I've already added to your inventory that you can add, and that for your cleric spells specifically will increase your spell attack and your save DC by 2. And once per long rest, you can use the amulet to get a free use of your channel divinity.
Okay.
Says, I know all of you have been through a lot. And he looks to Marek. Don't worry, my student, I have not forgotten you in this. You see, Marek didn't look dejected at all. He was not, like, and no expectations whatsoever. But he kind of nods his head. I wanted to gift all of you things that might help you along your way in the defense of this world that I have come to call my home. And I know all of you would like to defend your homes and your loved ones as much as I, if not more. I hope these small gifts of power might help you in any way I can. And he goes over to the chest one more time. He reaches in and pulls out, this time not a glowing, but he just pulls out a very well-made, what looks to be kind of like a handle that seems to be made out of wood and fine kind of filigree of metal along the entirety of it, but it looks like it's a unfinished hilt to a sword. And he goes over and he hands it over to Marek, and you see Marek's face kind of light up and eyes go wide. Truly? When you explained to me the design, I thought I'd try my hand at it. It should work. Feel free to modify and increase its enchantment and power as you see fit, but it should work for what you intend. And you see Marek bow deeply to Vermilion and kind of holds the wooden hilt close to him. He then looks to all of you. Now, I know I cannot give you more information on this prophecy. I know that was the intention of you coming here. But this is a journey for all of us. I am not above any of you. I have just had more time. That is the only difference. What I can do is I can lead you to the next step. I can help you along your way. He kind of shimmers. He waves his hand, and the mirror-like shards kind of shimmer, and you see a landscape, beautiful rolling farmlands and hills that run up to the edge of this crystal clear blue lake that stretches out past to the horizon. And it is a beautiful sight, but what truly sets it apart is as you glance up, as the image shifts slightly from just the simple town that looks like it maybe holds a few hundred people, shifts up, and you see these immense mountainous structures floating above the town, a good 1,000 feet or so above the town. You see the bottoms of what looks to be like large city-sized chunks of rock that seemed like they were just picked out of the ground. And as it shifts above to view above them, you see these large skyscraping towers built on all of them. And there are 4 of these massive structures kind of floating in very specific areas above the town, with towers of immensity and very varied structures to them. Some with very utilitarian type of structures to them, others with strange strange kind of like, I'm trying to think of the word, my mind is blanking on me.
Describe it.
It's a term, it's an artistic term for abstract.
There we
That's the
go.
word I was looking for. Very abstract structures to the buildings, with towers jutting out in just straight angles outward, or some of them at impossible curves and angles that don't seem like they should be able to hold their own weight, but seem to be surviving just fine. Beautiful and varied, and very strange at the same time.
A new site for Shioran?
Very.
She's marveling at it.
This is Arconics. I can send you there if you'd like.
That's where we need to go.
I do have one last gift to help you in your convincing. And he kind of waves his hand, and you see a book kind of. He flips it open, and he pulls out a letter, kind of like an envelope, and he hands it over to you, Shioran, and give this to Raulo.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Raulo.
Raulo?
Raulo. Raulo. Raulo Irtranic.
A name and a half.
Yep. Raulo Irtranic.
Okay. Thank you.
This should help with gaining access. Is everyone... Yes.
Do I say who got it, or just hand it to him?
Have him read it. He'll know who it's from. Is there anything else I can do or answer for any of you?
I think that's everything I can think of.
Torque will go ahead and raise his arm again, but this time when doing so, he'll let the tentacle fall off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kind of glances. I thought I sensed something when I was looking in your mind. That is an item of Dalkir invention. It is a parasite.
Oh yeah, should we be worried about that?
It can be a useful tool, but it is ultimately a piece of the Dalkir. If you would like, I can remove it for you.
He'll kind of look at his arm. Okay, for now.
Yeah. Slithers
Ew.
back into his skin.
Ew. That noise. Terrible. Stop.
He says, well, I will set you on your way then. Be prepared, this place is a place of knowledge, and many people there have more cunning than other individuals. They are... magic is a very commonplace thing there. You will run into many who have advantageous abilities, and they will use them for their own gains. Not all will be enemies, but watch your back. Watch each other's backs. And he will kind of wave his hand forward, and the shards of the place you're looking at kind of shift forward out from above the pit over the lava, and kind of moves forward. And as he kind of holds his hand towards the mirror, the pieces kind of connect in like these kind of snapping. And as it does, you see the lines that separated them and the cracks quickly just kind of seamlessly meld together till you're looking at a solid ovoid mirror and of that landscape. Whenever all of you are ready, please step forward.
Before Shiorn steps forward, she'll turn to him. It's nice to have someone who doesn't feel like they think of you as a pawn.
You and your allies are partners in this with me. My only intention is to protect this beautiful world. And as long as our ideals match up in that way, I will never use you as tools. Your place is no less or greater than mine in the prophecy.
I'm not gonna forgive myself if I don't do this, but inside check.
Yeah, Torque too.
I
for it.
guess.
So Torque got a natural 20 plus 5 for 25.
All right.
15.
All right.
22.
All right. Shioran, you see a creature that is beyond your comprehension, and you don't even understand if that is a human of any kind or anything. Does not seem natural, and the features are hard to read, very hard to read. And I mean, as far as you can tell, he seems quite honest, but he seems very collected in his demeanor, regardless of what he's talked about. So it's a little hard to gauge anything from him. Kalen, you see as he looks over all of you, a slight bit of it's worry, but not in the sense of, it's more in the sense of like how a parent looks over children that are going off on their own for the first time type of worry.
Oh, I know what that looks like.
Yeah. Torkrana, you see all of this as well, but you see him linger on Marek, and there's a moment as Marek is gathering his things, not quite looking, that you see him, what seems to be a shimmer of flame that seems to appear near the bottom of his one of his eyes, but then it's quickly gone in a flash to the point where you're almost sure you're not really saw it.
Fire tier.
Then he presents the mirror to all of you.
Apparently that's what the mirror sounds like.
You all step through?
Yeah.
All right. You guys step through, and it's a bit like kind of worrying as you're looking from the perspective of the mirror. You're thousands of feet in the air, and you just kind of like step through, ready to like fall, and you all kind of feel a bit of an odd transition, not quite as jarring as the teleportation circle, but you're not in the sky when you appear. You are suddenly find yourself in a small room that, with now all of you in there, it's quite crowded, and it's very strange as you look around. There is a woman over on one side of the room in a chair with a cup in her hand, looking about like she was about ready to take a sip of it. Short cropped black hair, shaved on one side, golden eyes, young looking, maybe in her late 20s. She is also missing her left ear, and her mouth is just wide open, and just the cup is halfway to her mouth, like
I'm Kale.
Well, it seems I've passed the exam.
you hear this you hear this voice, and you turn, and or you may describe your character.
Okay, so what you see is a very, very old halfling woman. Lots of wrinkles, sun damage. She's kind of hunched over. She's very small. She has like white, thin, long, curly hair with like flowers and like braids throughout of it. And she's wearing like a green dress that's like hand embroidered with like flowers, and they almost look real. Um, and she also has like a nice walking stick next to her, and she has like a very friendly grandma face. But yeah, that's her.
Uh, you, uh, I told you to summon just a simple dog. Here, you summoned.
There's a dog there,
Purple wag his tail.
right there. No, I point to
Right here.
what's her name?
Ainsley.
The dog.
Yeah,
Ainsley.
Did Ainsley
The
get a
dog
gift?
is there.
Uh,
I couldn't bring one without the others. They seem a pair.
oh, I'm. That is. Roll a deception check, Ada.
Oh,
By the way, Kale, when he hears this, is like willing to play along with anything now.
for reference, we don't have art for Ada yet, but so for now, her token will be played by this smiley face right here.
Yeah. It's a 24 deception.
Damn.
You see the woman across the way. That is not what I expected.
I told you you'd be amazed.
Yes. These. She kind of like stands up, but these just illusions, and she'll kind of like step forward and kind of like look at all of you.
No, we're real.
I quite hope we're not illusions, but it would explain many things.
Well, I think this will definitely help towards your towards your entrance exam. I've
Oh,
never
great.
seen someone summon an entire group of people with such little effort. I didn't even see you cast the spell necessarily. That was
I'm very, very sneaky in my old age.
that is impressive. It is very impressive. Well done. And she kind of like puts her down her tea, sits and picks up this like notepad notepad that she's like writing on. She's well. I think that honestly is all the information we'll need. We'll get back to you once we come to a conclusion. It might take a day or so.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll just shake her hand.
She's
I'm like
kind of
hop
like,
off the chair. I'm like hunched over and like use my walking stick. I'm like, okay, for record, I'm like 2'6". So I'm really
very
short.
small.
Is that hunched over
So,
or full?
Yeah,
Full
I'm
size.
hunched 2'6", but I will say, like to my dying breath, I'm 2'8". So don't say anything
So-
about it.
Does she have like a magic wand as her cane then?
You'll have to find out.
And the proctor, who you know as Peronel Eartranic, Ada, reaches down and shakes your hand. And says, "Again, I am astounded. You definitely went above and beyond my expectations. I was not. I'll be honest. I was not expecting you to be able to conjure the actual dog, much less all of this. So I am pleasantly surprised. Thank you."
I like to put on a show.
And she kind of like looks at the rest of you. It's like, well, welcome to Arconics. If you weren't already here,
Oh, that's where we are.
um,
I was a little confused.
well, to introduce myself, I am Peronel Itranic. I am one of the many proctors that will examine newcomers that want to be either mage rights or wizards. I'm trying to look for entrance into our prestigious school.
Where archives?
Archives. Well, they are up in the towers, but you will need special access, or
Need
be.
compare full notes.
Oh,
You said your last name was Irtranic, right?
Utranic, yes.
I kind of bumped Shorin.
Are you Raulo, Irtranic?
No.
Mm.
No. Do you know Raulo, Irtranic?
Raulo? That is my grandfather.
We have a letter for him. I guess it's a good thing we got summoned here. That's
I see.
saves a lot of time on
I
travel.
can be very helpful.
This strange halfling that's
You see, Kale, when Shorin said that, you see a smile grow on his face.
Fiorin feels like going with it.
Well, I can deliver the letter if you would like.
Yes. Thank you, please.
All right. And she'll hold out her hand towards it.
Definitely.
And
And-
she'll take it, and you see as she looks at it, there's a flash of arcane energy in her eyes as she looks at it. And then she kind of puts it in the kind of a hidden pocket in her robes. Says, well, I think this is all I'll need, so you may all go and enjoy yourselves. I will get back to you, Ada, once the conclusions of our decision is made.
Quick question.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have a feeling that what's in that letter is going to have people come see us. So is there like an inn or anything nearby?
Yes. The most common one is the Quill.
All right.
It should be easy for you to find.
We'll go ahead and check that place out.
And she, as you say that, she kind of like waves her hand, and you hear the door at the other side of the room kind of opens up, and you can see there's bright sunlight outside.
Ada, thank you for summoning us.
Oh yes.
Made our job.
You're
a lot
very
easier.
welcome. I'm glad you were needed here. It would have been a pain to send you back, since I didn't know where you were. I felt you when you
Yes.
came. Well, I'm off. She's gonna start hobbling.
What's your name?
Oh, it's Ada.
Ada. It's nice to meet
can
you.
easily follow her.
Hmm?
I said you can easily follow her. She's going very slowly.
I mean, to be fair, other than being summoned, apparently, we don't really have any reason to follow her. Unless she's leading us to the end.
I just meant like out of the room.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She is closest to the door, and so she is. You kind of have to wait for her to get out first. But you guys all step out, and it is bright sunlight around you. The temperature here is far more comfortable than the temperature in the volcano from where you just were. There's a very gentle breeze on the wind. You can look out, and you're in a very small farming village.
Sharon just like sighs.
Ugh.
Oh, thank you.
Farming villages, my favorite.
Oh, I just remembered that Sharon's kind of purple right now, so she's gonna slowly turn back to blue over the next few minutes.
Oh, you changed color. How fun.
No, I was just in a very warm place.
Oh, I brought you from hell.
One of them.
That might as well have been with how hot it is.
Torkel shiver and then put on the wool hat that he's been making. It is only about half formed.
How was Marek reacting?
No, I am curious. How did you get there?
You summoned us.
Oh no, I definitely didn't. I did nothing.
All we can say is we were sent from somewhere.
Oh, well. Thank you for making my exam a show. I must be off. And she's going to walk very, very slowly in the same direction as them.
Well, have a good day, Ada.
Oh, you too. And she just like keeps walking with them.
I
Marek is at the moment he's very distracted by the gift that was given to him by Vermilion. So,
can we help you? You seem to be walking in the same direction as us, so. You know.
Oh, are you talking to me? No, I'm good. Really. I'm just gonna keep
Really?
walking with them.
Well, I mean, so what do you do around here? Obviously, you're trying to get into the university, but
Yes, I'm trying to get in. Not to be a bitch wizard, but
So hopefully we helped with that.
Oh, you definitely did.
We will.
I will have to thank you. Do you drink? I will buy you one. Personally, I'm not a drinker.
Inside check. I've heard a lot of fables about old ladies and poisoning young men. Okay. 11.
I might be trying to poison you. I might not. No, I have a very friendly face with 11. I do not look like I'm gonna poison you.
she looks very sweet.
I look like a grandma. And everybody trusts your grandma.
Yeah, and until they try to cook you.
No, that's
I
someone else's
offered
grandma.
a drink, not food. I'm not trying to fatten you up.
I guess then we're going to. I guess the Quill is the place we're going. So if they have drinks, then
As you say this, you hear a and you kind of look up as you feel something rush past you, and you see a team of about 3 individuals, 2 of them on what looks to be literally broomsticks, zipping past you 2, with a third one on a massive winged creature from the underbelly. It looks like a lion with giant wings, but you can see on the top of the head it's this giant eagle head, and someone's riding on top of it, and they're just 3 of them just zip past all of you and zip into the center of town, towards this large building that's off to towards the center. And you see a number of people kind of milling around that area, and you see them kind of zip up and kind of arch around the building a little bit, and then the 2 people on the brooms land on these kind of like outcroppings to the building, and the person on the winged creature comes kind of flapping in and lands on a platform that's outstretched outside of the building as well.
Shioran is dazzled by the creature. What is that one?
Ada, you would obviously recognize these as one of the many griffins that reside in this town, but you can choose to say that if you'd like.
My dear, you've never seen a griffin.
No.
You've lived such a sheltered life. I can tell.
I mean, I wouldn't say sheltered, but
Oh, don't argue with
submerged?
me.
Okay.
And you, as you're looking at the building and seeing this, you then glance up, and you now see in full view with your own eyes the massive floating structures that are above you. You can't quite see much detail of the actual towers, but you see that they are spaced out by a good like half a mile to each one, and they're all kind of spaced around in a bit of an arc-like pattern, along kind of following the same arc of the lake that's slightly past the town. As you, the ones who are familiar with Corvair geography, you recognize this as Lake Galifar, and this is a very large lake, and it stretches out, like I said, past the horizon, and these floating massive structures are still in the air, and it is a sight to behold as you see not only the buildings, but you see numerous beings, you'd guess, from what you can tell from this distance, flitting around up there. You can see more winged creatures that you might guess are more griffins. You're not sure from this distance. At one point, you see lightning that like crack out of one of the buildings and just kind of arches out and spreads out all across the sky. And this place you're in is heavy with magic, and it seems to be quite commonplace here, as Vermilion had said.
This place is amazing.
I'm so glad you didn't say magical.
Oh, it's magical too, but I figured that was a given.
Why would... I'll give you that one, Shorin.
Marek kind of like comes to his senses a little bit. Old one, can I ask why you're trying to gain access to the academy?
You can never have too much knowledge.
That is true. But is there a reason why you are trying to gain access now?
Well, of course. Why would I share that with a complete stranger?
Ah, that is true.
It's a personal matter, young man.
I apologize. My name is Marek. He'll kind of like bow above you and will say, I apologize for my rudeness. This is a new place to me and my allies. This is Shiorn. This is Kalen, as he introduced himself. And this is our ally, Torkrana.
Tork's just been staring at the sky.
Are you okay, Tor?
Probably very tall.
He is very tall. Well, how about this? You offered us a drink.
Yes.
For helping with your exam, it seems. How about we buy you a drink as well, and we can get to know each other a little bit.
As I said, I'm not a drinker, but
It doesn't have to be alcohol.
well, yes, water does just fine.
Alright.
It's a secret to old age.
I'm guessing that building over there is the Quill.
Yep, that's the one.
Thank you very much.
And you all head in that direction to the building. As you get into town, you see a number of people kind of milling around. It's at this kind of center of this small village. Like you said, can't have more than a few hundred people that lives in it. But you see more people kind of zipping around on either just flying by themselves or on brooms, or other. There's even one that zips in on what seems to be kind of a flowing, very beautifully made carpet that he kind of alights himself down to the ground after flying past you both, lands, and then kind of holds his hand up, and the carpet just kind of rolls itself up, kind of puts it into this like kind of casing at his back that kind of holds the carpet, and he then walks inside, and people are kind of milling in and out of the inside, and you hear music playing on the inside, and definitely seems to be mirthful and warm inside.
Want one. But if I'm around the kids, then I don't want one.
What, the carpet?
Yes.
I like the brooms. Didn't know people use those to fly.
There's a bunch of stories about, witches who ride brooms and cook children coming around to our house in the woods. You know.
Yes, there are many. Would you like to come to my home? It's right over there in the woods.
Not if you're gonna cook us.
Oh, what an adventure that would be.
Marek kind of looks like, well, she is powerful enough to summon us out of thin air.
Would you believe that we've had worse?
Yes, I could
Okay.
see it in your face.
Your pale face.
You reek of death. I can taste it on my tongue. Personally, I taste it every day.
Oh.
Well, that's an icebreaker.
Sheeran licks the back of her hand. Does she taste death?
Nah, she tastes her mucus.
No.
I think we should go back to the whole entire drinking thing before things get out of hand.
I'm guessing you guys all enter the quill.
Yes.
It is a multi-tiered inn/tavern, and there are a number of tables set up in different areas. It seems to be kind of a haphazard setup in here, but it seems everyone is comfortable. A number of no table is the same. There's a normal wooden table off to one side, but then there's another table that seems to be has this odd kind of setup where there's chains holding these parts of the table together, but it seems like it's floating almost, and people are setting their drinks on it and whatnot. But just looking at it, it doesn't seem to be able to hold its own weight. It shouldn't, but it is. There's another table that bends and curves and kind of comes in this swirling pattern that mixes wood and metal together into this kind of swirling ring-like pattern on top. And as one person kind of puts their drink, or the barmaid comes and puts a drink down on the table, you see the metal and the wood kind of shifts, and the drink is then turned across the table to the person that it was intended for, that picks it up and starts drinking it. You hear lively music, and when you look up at the stage, there is a band of individuals. There is a human at the front, a dwarf off to the side, and off to the left side is what looks to be a cat person of some kind. And they are each strumming individual instruments, but there seems to be more sound coming from them than just their instruments. There seems to be a percussion that's happening, and as the person kind of continues to belt out these tones, it seems like their voice is magically amplified and kind of reverberated a little bit as it passes through, and it's this kind of jaunty, quick-paced song. And you see a few people in front of the stage dancing and having a good time with each other. People kind of like hooking arms and dancing in circles. One person kind of spreads his hands out, and there's just kind of this burst of sparks and light that kind of like crackles across the above the dancers. One woman is swirling in her spot, and as she does, you see her dress is shimmering, and it looks like the edges of it are licking flame as as she's whipping around in a circle. And it looks like her dress is on fire, but it doesn't seem to bother her at all, and doesn't seem to be consuming the dress past the edges. And a number of other wonders, kind of as you're looking around, this place is suffused with just magic at almost every turn. As you kind of are taking all of this in, it's a rush of the senses. You hear from back behind you guys, are off to the side a little bit, just, "May I help y'all?" And you turn around, and there is a very rotund individual man with slicked back brown hair, a very well kept, very meticulously shaped beard with kind of greased and shaped mustaches, and he's behind the bar, kind of wiping down his hands. "Looks like we've got some newcomers in here. What can I get for y'all?"
Torque's not paying attention. He's staring at the cat person, and anyone that has, I'd say, a passive perception of more than 12 can say that he's kind of flexing his claws a little bit.
The cat person is up there with like a
No.
cello type instrument that is just like playing furiously at it.
Dork.
I'll like grab onto his thigh or his calf or whatever. Like, what would you like to drink, young man?
He blinks and looks down.
Oh, do you have any local specialties? I like to try things.
Well, of course we do. We have the prestidigitation. That is our favorite around here. Please, come, try it. And he reaches behind the bar and he pulls out an empty cup, puts it down, and you see him pull out a number of bottles of all different shapes, and the liquids inside are all different colors. And he goes to skillfully pouring, and he'll flip a bottle around, grab it, and at one point he flips up a bottle and it stays up in the air as he grabs another one, pours some more, and then grabs the bottle out of the air and continues to pour that one. And soon the liquid inside of the cup that he can slides forward is this swirling, changing form of colors from reds to blues to greens to yellows as it kind of swirls in this rainbowish color all the way down to the bottom. And on top of the drink is little like sparks of kind of like little miniature fireworks as they out of the top of the drink. That'll be 5 silver, please.
I will give him the 5 silver.
Thank you. I'll take that, and it's a sleight of hand, so that he like slides it across the table, but then lifts his hand, and he never seems to take it or put it anywhere. But the coin is gone.
This.
And
this-
whoever would like to take the drink.
Yeah, I was gonna try it.
I will get one of those for each of my other companions, but not myself, please.
Of course.
Torque just stares at it.
So that'll be another 15 silver.
Yes.
And take that in the similar manner, and then we'll quickly go to making the drink, same kind of process over and over again. But he pulls out 3 cups. Sure, and as you take that and look at it, it's still like little fireworks exploding off the top of the drink. You kind of take a sip of it, and it is a odd sensation. There's kind of like a sparking kind of electricity feeling in your mouth, but it's not painful. It's just kind of whoo, and the liquid kind of tingles all the way down. But the taste is multifaceted. At first it's sweet, and then it's tangy, and then it's almost chocolatey almost at the end. It's this odd mix of flavors that don't blend together but kind of change over time, and it's quite enjoyable. And then when you take a second sip, it's different again. It's not the same sets of flavors. It changes each time you drink it to different types of flavors that kind of mix and change and swirl around. It's a fascinating drink.
I think I found my new favorite drink. You know, this town is a lot more what I imagined before I left the ocean, of what the surface would be like.
Oh, I promise you, Lassie, that you're not going to find a town like Arconix anywhere else on Corvair. We are quite unique here.
Clearly.
Are y'all looking for rooms, or are you just here visiting and passing through?
Yes, rooms as well, please.
All right. Well, we do get quite packed here, but we should have a couple of rooms available. Each one is going to run you about 5 silver or so. If you'd like meals added on top of that, that'll be another 5. So a gold for the room and food. But that will cover you for dinner and breakfast. We have a ever-changing menu, and it is brought by our wondrous chef. They come from many corners of the world, and they bring with them many different culinary delights.
Really?
It's always a surprise. Yeah.
I would also like to meet your chef. I'm a bit of a cook myself, so.
If he has the time, I'll send him out. I'm sure he would enjoy talking to a fellow connoisseur of
Culinary creations.
culinary creations. That's the word. Culinary. Connoisseur of the culinary. Well, please get comfortable. You are home for now. And whoever wants to pay for whatever they would like to for rooms, just tack off what you want. 5 silver for just the room, or gold for room and food.
I'm gonna tack off a couple of gold into this.
Yeah, I can.
Alright.
For the 4 of us, it would be 2 gold, wouldn't it? Or no, it would be 4 gold for the.
If you're wanting food.
Okay, yeah,
and
I'll do 2 as well.
Torque continues to stare at the drink, and he's gonna raise it up to his nose and sniff it. What does it smell like?
It is a strange mixture. Like you kind of sniff, smells like kind of like fruit. You sniff again, smells almost like hot chocolate, and then kind of ciderish, and then an odd tangy smell. Never the same once. Each time you smell it.
Torque will slowly open his mouth and just dump the whole thing in.
You see you hear the guy. I wouldn't do that. Okay. As it is a shocking kind of twist and explosion of all sorts of different flavors. As you've quite literally gone to Flavor Town with this. And it's so confusing to your senses, even with your dulled senses, that it gives you kind of a headache by the end of it, as like your mouth is just kind of like almost numb, tingly by the end. But even with your dulled senses, you go through the plethora of like chocolate, sweet, tangy, all sorts of things back and forth in different orders, and it's a
I almost
Okay.
choked. I
Now,
almost
most
passed out right
important
there.
question. Is it alcoholic?
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna lead them to a table.
Yeah, you guys find a table that seemingly doesn't have any chairs.
I will just sit.
So you move over. So Ada seems to know what she's doing, and she moves over to the table. And as she goes to sit, almost seems like she's just gonna just fall right to the ground. But one of the kind of like the underside of this table kind of stretches outward, and this kind of like curves to perfectly her height and her form, and kind of forms to fit as she sits down. Just catches her very gently, no jostling. And the edge of the table that where she's sitting, that piece that came out, the table just kind of dips down and gets to her level, and just kind of like spreads out from there.
Come sit.
You all do similar as you kind of like get to the table and just kind of squat, and these metal pieces from underneath the table kind of stretch out and form to fit all of you very comfortably. In fact, as it kind of like forms to your posterior and your back. And
Torque stares at it all strangely.
this is more than Torque has ever seen when it comes to magic.
Shorin's having a good time.
Yeah.
The music switches over to a bit more of a classic kind of like tavern song, talking about a few noble adventurers that have some sort of significance in the previous war, some notable adventure that caused the tipping point for a certain battle that happened during the war.
So, Sharon, was it?
Shorin.
Sharon. Oh.
Sharon.
Sorry. Yes, Sharon. You said you're from under the ocean. Are they very trusting there? Like idiots?
I wouldn't say trusting.
don't mean to be rude, but why? My question is, why would you hand a letter that seemed of somewhat significance to a total stranger and ask them to deliver it?
She had the same last name, right?
Yes, but how does that make her trustworthy?
I mean, Sharon looks down.
You should work on that. Be less trusting here, my dear. You'll hope your letter is received well, but you never know.
Insight check.
Well, if it isn't, we'll at least be a little bit away now. Maybe we'll have fast notice.
Ooh, that's a good insight check. 25.
What are you looking for?
Insight check. Like, just trying to see what you're getting at and stuff like that.
I'm getting at that you should not be so trusting of people.
Basically, are you... Would you be
You're
one of
getting
those
legit
people?
advice.
I'm speaking from experience.
Okay.
I'm wise and old.
Honestly, it's just more if she's trying to fuck with me or something.
Not really.
Alright. Well, that was a lesson Shioran didn't expect to learn.
The lesson we've been trying to teach her for months. At least Lyson tried to teach her too.
To be fair, Shioran has people she doesn't trust immediately.
Yeah.
It's just when they're, like, the nicer types and stuff like that. But, yeah, she's had a few people she has immediately not wanted to trust. But, anyways. Well, I'm certain it would, I'm certain it'll get where it needs to go.
I hope for your sake it does.
Oh, you know what I did not do that I should have done?
So what are you doing here in Iconics?
Well, I'm taking the entrance exam.
Yeah, I know. I know,
to get
but
into the academy.
have you been here for a while, or are you from somewhere else?
Oh, what is the time? Yes, I've been here for... What's a while?
Months? Years?
Who knows?
Decades? Centuries?
Not that
Millennia?
long.
Okay.
I'm not from here, no.
Where are you from?
A small town. You haven't heard of it.
I'm also from a small town no one's heard of.
There you go.
Are you from the same
Instant
town?
connection. Definitely not.
Oh, that would have been an interesting.
No, definitely not.
Marek kind of looks and over to you, Ada. So, yes, what is exactly you are looking to study? Are you from the sounds of it, are an arcanist yourself?
Sure. I summoned you, didn't I?
You did. That was quite the feat. I find it interesting, and also not quite a coincidence that we met in the way that we did.
I'm just looking for information.
On
We'll see if I find it here.
on what specifically?
It's hard to say.
I see. Do you hope to just gather information, or do you intend on being a full student?
Well, I hope to get the information, use the information, and leave. I have no interest in staying here. Again, bitch wizards and all.
Bitch wizard.
Well, is there anything specific we should know about this? Well, actually, we're looking to gain access as well to the archives in the academy. Are you required to be a student to get up there?
Do I know that?
So you do know that there are special exemptions that certain people can garner favor and gain access to certain parts of the archives, but it is not a common thing.
It's quite rare for someone not a student to go to the archives, I believe.
Kind of looks at Shiar and is like, I hope that letter that we received will help and get to the right person.
Oh, I've just realized a reason to trust them. Because they're from the academy. The archives, because they were testing you.
That makes them reputable. How?
Well,
You're still stuck on that?
it hurts.
Dear, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying.
I do trust...
Trust is not. You trust a little easy. I would have never given a letter from, I don't know, I gotten just yesterday to that lady. Even if it meant nothing to me.
Torque has slowly gone back to staring at the cat person.
Alright, well... I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to not trust people, or at least give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, sure, do that in your own time, but with something important, it seems a little risky. Plus, you could have met the person you were trying to get the letter to. Face-to-face introductions can go a long way.
I guess.
Anyways, let's change the subject. Where are you from? I pulled you from the ether of hell. You should thank me for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
About how far from the stage is the table we're sitting at?
I'd say about 15 feet.
Good to know.
Torque, Torque, do you like that cat person?
Just a low alligator growl.
No, cats are friends.
Not food, dear.
Oh.
Do
Yeah,
not
you would
attack the
definitely
kidney.
see Torque's eyes are fairly well constricted.
Torque?
Torque.
Shion snaps her fingers.
And Kale speaks in Draconic for this next part. Do not attack the tabaxi.
You get back. Cat.
Do you need to go outside?
His lips just kind of slowly curl upwards.
Well, that's not menacing.
Uh,
I don't think I've ever seen him like this.
are those guys still playing?
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey Torque, why don't we go up to your room and go ahead and fix your situation a little bit more?
Yeah. So you can really taste like everything that's going on with that drink. Let's do that.
But
Come
I
on.
advise people roll a history check.
History? Well, that's a shitty history. That's a 3.
Dice don't fail Kale now.
I got a natural 20.
So did I.
Fortunately, you don't have much history with Torque.
Kale.
You remember when he came through the
I know.
portal?
First
I didn't know if it
story-
was just like a full race thing, like all lizard people hate cat people or something.
Kale, the first story you heard from Torque at the bar in Zilspar. I don't drink. Last time I did, I almost ate the bar's cat.
Oh shit.
That's so funny.
All right. Come on, upstairs.
So as Kale is like standing up to like grab Torque to,
Yeah, I'm gonna like break his eye contact with the cat too.
you get in front of him, and as you're like trying to get his attention and get him up, you hear a smash from behind you and a scream. As you turn quickly to the noise, and you see someone backing away from the bar. You see a number of people kind of just getting up and backing away, as this creature or thing made out of pure fire is slowly engulfing parts of the counter and slowly growing. And you see flashes of light and bits of burst of what seem to almost be arcane energy as you turn, and more of these flame creatures start to appear everywhere in the bar. People start to stand up, panic. A lot of people start to like just kind of mill around or try to move towards the exit as people are kind of panicking about this. And there are about 5 of these flame-like elementals that have risen up out of seemingly nowhere, and the entire bar goes into absolute chaos. And that is where we'll pick up next time.
Well, it seems like a good time to head to bed.
Well,
Otis just
Oh my god.
sure.
It's
Sure,
gonna
get the
be
fire.
like in the middle of all this, you're just gonna see Torque just still staring at the cat who's hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just flames dancing in his eyes.
All right. Well,
You're in a new place in Corvair. Finally.
yeah.
Finally.
You're not in Breland anymore.
And Shioran loves it. All
I
right.
anticipate fun times ahead for Torque for multiple reasons.
Oh yeah, this should be interesting.
If Shioran had gotten a good history roll and remembered that, you would be small right now.
You would be small.
All right. Does anyone have an idea for a name for this session?
This place is so much better than the last one.
Into magical lands.
That sounds pretty good.
I just asked for a dog.
Warm dispositions.
I like that.
Flavor Town.
Favorite town.
Flavor Town is it, yeah. We have to. Too bad I'm not wearing my shirt. I almost wore it.
All right. So y'all think Flavor Town is the best one?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone you want to raid?
Let's see. Twitch. That's actually the only thing I tweeted from this session. Is you've quite literally gone to Flavor Town with this.
Sorry about that sudden sound, everyone on the stream.
Twitch.
Actually, I don't even know
Do
if
I
that's picking
have
up. It's not.
anybody?
Never mind.
Let's see. I don't have anybody.
People are still playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, I got no one worth heading to.
All right, then I haven't raided Bushido Panda in a while, so I might as well go ahead and do that.
Sweet.
All right. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and give us a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. You know, it all helps. I will be back Monday, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in order to continue playing Persona 4, where the mystery is actually starting to ramp up, as someone has died who wasn't shown on the TV.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, let's do that raid. I don't have anything else to say, unless anyone else has announcements.
Nope.
You're all awesome. That's my announcement.
Thank you. You too. All right, the raid has been created. The raid countdown has been created. Everyone have a good night, day, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you in the next stream.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We has raided.